Hello there. I want to do a quick video for you on how, once you input a listing into MLS, how you flip over and put instructions for your showing into showing time. So I just finished putting a listing into MLS, and right here is a hot link that says Manage Showing Times. And if I click into this, it's going to take me into this listing in showing time. I'm going to work basically from the top down. I'll show you a couple options here. This first one is the appointment center. If you don't plan to use the call center, and we're asking right now that you don't, go ahead and toggle this to no. And you want this, it'll default here, but you want the allow showing agents to request appointments online toggle to yes. And then for this listing, it's vacant, so I'm going to do it as a go and show. So down here, I'm going to select from the drop down a go and show. I do want feedback requested from the agents that show, and then the feedback template, I just use a showing time template. And then is property occupied? Again, this one's vacant, so I'm going to hit no. Down here are my contact details. This comes over from your profile, and I want to be notified of confirmed and canceled appointments. I want text and email, so I'm going to keep those selected. And then down here, if you hit this How will this work button, it will actually give you some explanation as to what your options are right there. So I would recommend, if this is your first time setting up a showing, look at some of these help sections, because it will give you some details on how some of this stuff will come through. I don't have a co-listing on this, but I do have owners, they're not occupants anymore, that want to get notified when showings are occurring. So I'm going to hit Add Owner Occupant. This first screen is going to show me, you can see that we've got two tabs up here, Add Existing, if you've got a contact that's already in here, or I'm going to hit Add New because my contact is not in here, and I'm going to put in my client's name. I'm going to click No there, and then phone type, I'm going to do his mobile number, and I need to look that up here. I should have done this before I started the video. All right, where is Matt? There's Matt. Okay. Okay, so I'm not putting his email in here. I just want his cell phone in here at this point. But I could put his email down here. You know what, I'll go ahead and put it in while I'm on the screen. If I don't want them to receive text messages, I'm going to hit this no button right here, but they want text messages. So I'm going to go ahead and save this one. And then I need to add his wife, Amy. Same process. I'm going to go to Add New, get Amy put in here. Let me get Amy's number pulled up. This is going to be her mobile. Again, I'm going to select no there. And then her email address. I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Okay, so now they are listed as options down here, and they want to be notified for showings just text only. They don't want email. So I'm going to unselect the text box. And then I don't want to share with them the showing agent details. They just need to know a showing is happening. They don't necessarily need to know who is showing it. But again, you've got some options there. And then down here are appointment restrictions. So if I want to allow inspections and walkthroughs to be scheduled through showing time, I'm going to leave that as yes. Same thing with appraisals. That'll allow the appraiser or the inspector to call showing time to schedule. And then down here, this is a go and show, so I'm not putting any requirements for advance notice. But if I had an occupied property, I might do a 1 hour notice as required here. That's typically what I default to with an occupied property. But again, you'll want to consult with your sellers on that. And then maximum appointment lengths here, I'm going to change this to 30 minutes. Obviously we're in some unprecedented times right now when I'm doing this video. Normally I would make this a 1 hour window, but right now, because we can't allow overlapping showings, I'm going to drill that down to 30 minutes. That way I can maximize the amount of showing appointments every day if need be. So down here I can add a new showing rule. This is if, if you've got an occupied property and maybe they've got a baby that naps, from 10 to 11 and 1 to 2 and they don't want any showings during those times, you could add those right here. I don't have any restrictions on this one. It was a property that was in pre-MLS, which is why it's restricted until tomorrow, or until the 17th, because it doesn't go live until the 17th. Down here is your access information. So the agent is going to access the phone with a Supra iBox. There is no alarm, so I'm not selecting that. Location is going to be on the front door. And for right now, I'm not going to put in a CBS code. I haven't programmed the iBox yet. I don't know which one I'm going to use, but I might come back and add that. That will allow an appraiser and inspector that doesn't have full iBox access to open the lockbox with their CBS code. So I would recommend as a best practice to input that. And then down below, I'm going to put in, this first box is going to be appointments for, or notes for appointment staff. And the next one is going to be my showing instructions for our showing agent. So I'll put all those in just a minute, but that's where you put those in. I'm going to, for sake of time, not do that now. And then I really have the showing instructions set up here. So I'm going to go ahead while I'm on the screen and hit Save Changes. You'll notice up here I've got this little box that says your showings have been saved, settings have been saved. You do have a couple of little toggles here where you can actually go in and do restrictions here. If they were, for instance, last Wednesday is when movers were there and they were moving out. So if we were active, I would have wanted to restrict showings all day. So you can do that right here from the calendar view. Your next tab over is listing data, and this is pulled over from MLS. You don't need to input information in here, but you certainly could if you wanted to, but I don't think that as a best practice, it's really going to be worth your time to input all of this. The important information is right up here at the top. So I am done with my showing instructions right now with showing time. I hope you found that helpful. I know it was quick, but it really kind of walks you through again. Start at the top and work your way down. If you have any questions, about this, they've got a great help center. There's a lot of videos that they have as well. And good luck.